Hey man, Big Ice, train guy, come walk a mile with me. Get it. I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was too young to really like remember Minneapolis. I had moved to Detroit too early, type shit, like a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really had no experience in Minnesota like that. We moved straight to 6 Mile. We was staying on Menden. Again, I was too young to remember that I was a baby. Like when I mean a baby, I mean like 6, 7 months type shit. So I don't remember that experience. But we ended up moving on Mac, and we stayed on my Elliott on Meldrum, and I do got some childhood memories from that. It was only 4 motherfucking houses on the block. I had went to Bunch Elementary, and then after the third grade, we moved back to 6 Mile, but we moved on Sanford, 3 bedroom house, and it was me, my brother Rick, my brother Therese, my brother Dion, my brother Calvin, my sister Tonton, my sister Tayetta, fucking my cousin Pee Weezy, my cousin Bass. Shit, all of us we was living over and Ghost. You were Ghost. We was all staying there, thugging it out. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 motherfuckers to a room, but we used to rotate a lot. Like for instance, right? My brother Calvin and my sister Tonton and Tayetta, they stayed for the most part. They stayed with their moms and shit. So you know what I'm saying? When they was gone, it was just the rest of us over there. We shared a room. My brother Therese had like the biggest room upstairs. Him, Pee Weezy, and Dion had that room. My room was across from his and shit, and we just used to thug it out, bro. I had a happy childhood. It was all love in our household, respect. You know what I'm saying? We had one of them fighting type households. We popped our shit. We motherfuckers get into a fight, all that shit, and it was just regular. Right after that, you know what I mean? Man, we just was fried. We was just burnt out. You know what I'm saying? I got into a lot of dumb bullshit when I was a shorty. You know what I mean? Like, I was in fourth grade. My brother Rick caught me and my cousin Tezo trying to sell crack at this Bradford store. Literally, no cap. He beat my ass and sent me about my way. Tezo went, got his ass beat, and you know what I mean? We just used to get into a bunch of dumbass shit when we were shorties. I used to steal cars, all that type of shit. You know, just regular kitty shit, just a bunch of dumb shit. You heard? I bought my first car when I was 12 going on 13 though. I used to pick my wife up in that car, drive to Eastland and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I used to have to hide that bitch from my mama. My mama ain't even know I had a car. But Ghost mama knew I had a car, so she used to let us park it over there. His mama was young when we was young, you know what I'm saying? So she was kind of hip. We was selling weed and shit at a young ass age and all that. We just had a basic household, bro. Just regular shit. You know what I'm saying? Just normal shit. Everyday brother and sister and sibling type shit. But for the most part, it was happy household. Food stayed in that motherfucker. We always had school clothes and good shit, video games and all that shit. We was happy. Again, we didn't know that we was like below average as far as a household. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't middle class. We was probably under lower class, but I couldn't tell because my mama did her thing. She took care of all of us, her and my stepfather. So it was just average to us, bro. We got into a bunch of dumb shit, just stupid shit. I went to Osborne High School. That's the only high school I went to. And then I tried it while I was going to Osborne. I was going to Persian night school. I dropped out at the end of ninth grade, going into the 10th grade. I was fried as a student, bro. I was fucked up in the head. I always hung with all my homies. None of all of them they all had all graduated. Everybody except my cousin Lil Jerry. So none of my friends was my age and shit. I used to go to school for a couple hours, then ask one of the OGs, a couple of my older homies, come pick me up. We was in the streets thugging. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving rims and shit like that. I was getting money in high school. So, I had a kiddie mentality. I thought school was beneath me at the time because I already had money. Well, I thought I had money, but I ain't had shit, just a young nigga in high school thinking he had something. And that caused me to not finish school and end up dropping out overall and chase my dream. I feel like I always knew it was meant for me to be something and meant for me to have something. I felt the shit when I was a kid. I just knew it. I don't know how I knew it, but I knew it. I knew I wasn't average. I knew that I was a hustler. I thought it was normal for a while for the type of shit that I had at that young age, especially just thinking about the fact that I got a son and imagining my son doing the shit that I was doing and having the shit that I had at the age of 12. It just seemed unreal. You know what I'm saying? But at the time for me, it was normal because I always wanted more for myself. Always been a hustler. But I popped up to our first location, our juice bar, Fresh and Press. Me and my wife on this. I bought this for my wife. This is something she genuinely love to do. She genuinely believe in this shit. This wasn't like a money grab for us. You know, my wife been doing this shit since we had our first baby, my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So everything up here organic, no additives in the fruit. We got real organic fruit, pause, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Vegan food, gluten-free, dairy-free, everything up here is healthy. You know what I'm saying? Health equals wealth. And we standing on that. We got a new location coming downtown on Griswold. Y'all get with it. Fresh and Press. And my baby won 3 different awards already. We only been open up for a year for best new restaurant in Troy, Michigan. The mayor of Troy, Michigan, she always come here. So it's all love, but you know we gotta give it up for the city. That's why we came with the downtown joint. Come check us out. This the beet juice right here.
Beats.
It's beet juice. It's good for your stomach, for your gut, all that, you know what I'm saying? So this our menu. We named all the drinks after like what my wife did. My wife did everything. I ain't do nothing but just put the money, spend some money. That's it. This all her. It's her idea, her everything. She put her all in this shit and shit paying off. She named all the drinks after like mantras. Like, I am happiness, I am powerful, I am focused, I am goals. All this shit genuinely make you feel better and it make you look better. It make you think better, make you act better. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just being healthy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a healthy mindset as well. Get to this motherfucking money. These are the little snacks we got. You know what I'm saying? All this shit is vegan and vegan food and gluten free and dairy free, even the cheese, everything. You know what I'm saying? We got some lovely employees working up here. Everybody on the team add to the business overall. They all good women, great people. Hey, this one of them businesses, like I slept on this. I ain't understand the dynamic of it, but my wife believe in me, so I believe in her, so I went with it. But this shit completely fucked me up, bro. Like this is a very, very good business to get in, but your heart gotta be in this shit as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, everything ain't about being a money grab. You know, that's money is always the result of doing good work, no matter what it is. But you know, on that side of things, though, we got a great turnout as of now. Thank God, you know, everything worked out really good. This bitch slamming, and everything she wanted to do, it happened, and it's working for her. And I'm genuinely proud of her. But I was asleep on this motherfucker. I ain't gonna care. I didn't understand it at first, but I get it now. Me and my wife, we 50-50 on everything. And I'm not saying financially, it's the shit the things she do and what she provide, I can't do it. It's a lot of shit that she do that I just can't do, you know, and she add a lot of value to me as a human and as a man, you know what I'm saying? She give me a lot of game. She give me a lot of insight about shit and I provide the same shit for her as well. You know what I mean? She add balance for us as a family. I know I need her, you know what I'm saying? And I can't say she need me. I just know I need her. And I think that's important that we have somebody to balance us out, somebody to keep us level headed, somebody to keep us sane, somebody to keep us from crashing out or whatever the case may be. There have been times where I still crashed out even after she suggested that I don't crash out. You know what I'm saying? But at least I had that other voice there because when I did crash out, I knew what was coming after that because she told me what would happen if I do that. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it's just all love. We like family. You know what I mean? We passed boyfriend, girlfriend, husband. We life partners. That's the shit about. And I'm if you married, you married. If you're not married, you're not married. You know, it's just about you and how you and your significant other is rocking. However y'all rock is how y'all rock. You know what I'm saying? I just think that marriage worked good for me and her because we blessed. You know, we got children and we married, and our children are able to say that they dad and mommy married. And that don't mean that if it's a mother and a father that's not married, that's wrong, or my way and her way don't make ain't no different or right or wrong from the next person way. It's just what we like, what we tried, and what worked for us. I've never felt that I wanted to be an entertainer. I just always wanted to have some money, and I'm a hustler. So for me, it was like, well, I know I like music. I know I want to be an actor, and I know what come from that shit if I do it the right way and I do the right thing. I was always chasing paper. You know what I'm saying? I just always wanted money, and I knew I wanted money since I was a child, since a youngin'. I can give you a story that happened where one time I realized we was kind of in a bad position, but even after this shit had got better for me. When we was staying on Mac and my Elliott, right? I went to school. It was on my birthday. I was in the third grade, and I just started crying in the classroom. So my teacher, her name was Miss Lewandowski. She pulled me out the class. She like, "What's wrong?" And I told her to look at my shoes. She said, "What's wrong with your shoes?" I said, "Look at them. This is what's wrong. I don't want to dress like this. I want more. I don't want to look like this. I don't want people to laugh at the stuff that I got on." And she told me that shit wasn't important, but I wasn't trying to hear it at the time. I never picked rap, to be honest with you. I always wanted to be an actor. Uh, I did like rap. I wrote my first rap when I was 12. Me and my three brothers, Smoke and 40 and Rick, we had like a little rap group. Smoke had a studio inside his closet, and we used to just record and make songs and shit. I always loved music and was attached to music, but I didn't. That wasn't what I wanted to be. I didn't really want to be a rapper until I dropped dancing. That's when I like, and obviously I was trying music way before then, but that's when I realized that shit was real. That's when I realized this shit was possible. It can happen. And it wasn't like nothing that took place in my life that brought me to that shit. It was just me knowing that you gotta think like Doughboys was rapping, Team Eastside. It was a lot of people rapping, Dusty McFly was a lot of guys turned. You know what I'm saying? And not discluding my homies, did Team Eastside, but I knew I had everything that the Doughboys was rapping about, and that was important to me. It's like, damn, every them cars they rapping about, buffs and Rolexes, and just having this type of money at a young age. Everything they was rapping about, I literally had it. From the cars to the jewelry to the condos to the lofts, all that shit. I had absolutely everything that they rapped about. And just at the time, nigga felt competitive, and I felt the love on the weird side. It was like some type of competition. I felt in my heart because it's like, damn, I got all this shit they rapping about, and them boys is turned right now. I need to rap. I need to rap. I know I can rap because they made it, and everything they talking about, I got this shit, so I can turn up. That's what like changed everything for me. Watching them, to be honest with you. So I remember my little homie, Meech, he was a green guy at the time. He was making beats and shit, and we was all on the horn. Me, all us, Team Eastside. Team Eastside was so motherfucking turnt, and I knew Meech was making beats, and he was trying to get them to rap on his beats, but Meech like, Meech ain't it. Meech kind of quiet, so he ain't want to say shit to niggas like that for real. But I'm listening to the beats, and I'm like, shit, if them niggas ain't gonna rap on it, let me rap on them motherfuckers. So he like, all right, bro, fuck it. He gave me the beats. I go to Aunt Beast's crib and I do dancing. I come back to the hood and I play that shit for the guys. Peasy like, nah, I fuck with that. Peasy jump on the bitch. And we put the bitch out. When I went to 007 and I seen them playing that song and I watched the amount of people that was rapping that shit, I knew right then and there, oh, I got the potential to be one of the biggest because I felt like the sound was different. It was a different type of sound. It was still a Detroit sound, but the shit was just different. The bass, my approach, everything I did with the beat, everything about it, I felt I brought a whole new sound to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not glorifying this part, but wasn't nobody really cared or knew or understood what lean was and all that type of shit. So I'm talking that type of lingo, and I just brought a whole new bag to the Detroit sound at the time, and I knew that I had something special. As far as like hobbies that I picked up before I had a couple dollars, I don't have no new hobbies. I'm genuinely the same nigga, bro. Like I'm just the same person. Everything I like now, I like then. I used to love art then. I love art now. I ain't picked up no new habits. I don't know. I just what I did pick up is the shit that I used that I tried before that didn't work. I tried it again. Now that I can afford to try it. For instance, like businesses and shit like that. I got a lot of failed businesses. A whole lot of them motherfuckers. A lot of that shit didn't work. But when I got some paper, I tried it again and then it did work. You know what I'm saying? But like to be real with you, gang, I ain't got no new habits. Everything about me just the same. I'm the same nigga. This one of my other businesses. This bitch in the middle of my hood though, you know what I'm saying? Exotic City. We selling hookahs, all that shit, everything, exotic sodas, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all pull up. It's on Gratiot and French Road, right in the hood, man, you know what I'm saying? On the east side. Exotic City. I be trying to have as many businesses as possible all at one time, just to have like multiple streams of income. I don't want this shit just off rap music, you know what I'm saying? So much money in the world, bro. Like, nigga ain't gotta do nothing illegal. It don't make sense. You ain't got to. You get a good idea, you apply some pressure behind that shit. You never know what's gonna work. Again, I didn't expect that juice bar to work like the way it's working, but that shit it's overworking. You know what I'm saying? The turnout is great on that. So I always been like an entrepreneur in my heart. I always wanted to do shit like this. Even back in the 8th grade, gang, I bought my first car when I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? Selling candy and shit at school, like in that type of bag. So, we got the hookah spot. I believe in anything you like doing or anything that catch your eye or anything that interests you, try to own it. You know what I'm saying? I smoke vapes and hookahs, so I own vapes and a hookah spot. You heard? Like all that. So yeah, here we go. We just got this building, me and my brother Webbo doing this motherfucker together. About to redo everything and inside of this motherfucker and just turn this bitch up. We got the official grand opening coming real soon, so y'all stay tuned for that. Like I say, bro, we just trying to have as many streams of income as possible. We're gonna do as many business as we can. Bro, my rap name came about fluke as hell, bro. I dropped a mixtape called IceWear. That shit said Young Vez presents IceWear. And at the time, Pluto was always like one of my favorite artists. And he had dropped Dirty Sprite. And he changed his Twitter name to like Dirty Sprite or some shit. Like, I don't know if it was his real page or a fake page. And there was a couple artists that made their Twitter and their Instagram name the name of their project. So I thought that I was being smart and this regular marketing rapper shit. So I changed my Instagram name to the name of my mixtape, which was IceWear Vezzo. That was literally the name of the mixtape. Young Vez presents IceWear. That was the mixtape. And Mustard was my fucking manager at the time. And we was like paying other motherfuckers for me to perform at their parties or paying other artists to perform for them before they perform type shit. And the nigga kept putting my Instagram name on the flyer. And I fucked around and got turned, not like months after that I dropped dancing and everybody started calling me IceWear Vezzo instead of Young Vez. So I just ran with the name. So Green Guys was like, so it was a line we was pushing when we was youngin'. That shit started from my cousin, Ed, rest in peace. They was all older dudes. They was in the streets getting like real money. I always looked up to my big cousin, to my cousin Corey. He was like a hero. Like I really idolized him. You know what I'm saying? Just to have somebody so close to me and my family that I looked at like a rock star. He ended up going to prison and dying in prison a couple weeks before he was supposed to get released. But we brought the green guy name to Detroit as youngest, and Webbo was throwing like hella parties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then we end up linking with Team Eastside. That's how the whole Team East Green Guy shit came about. We basically was just like one crew, but we had two different names, type shit. And then got rid of that, and it's ISO Records. So like the role that the strip club played in my career was a huge role. You know what I'm saying? Like DJ Ill Will was at 007. He the only nigga spinning my shit. And because Ill Will played my music in 007 so much that the motherfuckers that was coming to the dub all the time, them the only people that knew my music at the time. So because of that, that's when Gold Digger, the DJs at Gold Digger started spinning my shit. Crazy Horse, like, so 007, Crazy Horse, and Gold Diggers was the three titty bars that like really turned me up, and all the DJs there. But for sure, DJ Ill Will and DJ BJ was the first DJs like helping my shit out and turn it. Will was in the strip club and DJ BJ was on the radio playing that shit. I was in prison when I first heard dancing on the radio. It fucked me up. Prison was one of the best things that ever happened for me because I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about a lot of shit. You know, I was able to check myself and really dive deeper into how I move as a man and as a person. Period. You know what I'm saying? That shit brought everything came full circle for me after prison because I went at life with a whole new mindset, with a whole new mentality. You know what I'm saying? So that was just in my experience. In prison, I learned the true definition of love. I learned that love is an action. Love ain't a feeling. Love is something that you do. It's not something that you only say. You cannot love someone without showing them. Because if you're not showing them, then that's not love. I learned the difference between actions and words overall. Words is one thing, but actions is another thing. I stopped paying attention to the shit people say and I pay way more attention to the shit people do because that's what really matters is what they do, not what they say. And that go for us as well. That go for anybody. Love, respect, loyalty, all that shit is an action. You can tell somebody you got loyalty for them 1,000,000 times. You can tell somebody you love them 1,000,000,000 times. But if you don't show them not one time, then they got every right to not believe what you're saying. Love is an action. All right, so this is where my restaurant used to be, Chicken Talk. When I tell you this was the biggest restaurant in Michigan at the time, I mean the biggest. We was bigger than the food chain type shit. Like I had thousands of people inquiring about franchising and shit. We had motherfuckers driving from Ohio, from all around, just to come eat our food. No diddy. And my car wash was right next door to it. It was called Iced Up Hand Wash. I first got them buildings. I bought it when I was 24 years old. And I was 25 when I opened up the car wash, the restaurant, and down the street, I had the very first dispensary in our neighborhood ever. It was called Dank Guys. Follow up with Drink Guys type shit. At the time, right, you know, I had a bunch of money. I had a shitload of money. I didn't know what to do with it. And my mindset back then was just flex, 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 flex. Everything I did back then, that shit was all for the look. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. These businesses was successful. However, they did not succeed because I got in it for the wrong reasons. My heart wasn't in it. I did that shit just to say, look at me, I'm 25 and I own 3 different businesses in the same hood I grew up in. The car wash got a whole nother story to it that mean a lot to me. When I was like 11 years old, I ain't gonna say his name, he know who he is too. It was a nigga that wasn't from over here, he was from East Warren. I asked a nigga, can I work up at the car wash? Can I get a job type shit? I was trying to go shopping for my school clothes. It was the middle of the summer. I wanted to make sure I had all my school clothes in order when school started back. The nigga told me I couldn't work here. I said, why not? He said, you're too young. I'm like, bro, you got guys up here that's my age. They drying the cars, they doing shit up here. Why I can't get a job? He like, man, shit, I don't really know you like that, nephew. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of expensive shit be up here. We just trying to keep everything under wraps. I told that man, I looked that man dead in his eyes, and you know who you is. You remember this story. You know ain't no cap in this shit with life. I looked him right in the eyes and I said, you know what? I'm not tripping. I'ma buy this bitch one day. I told that nigga, when I get older, I'm buying this bitch and I'll never hire any nigga that you know. Straight like that, he laughed at me like, little nigga, get the fuck on. True story. If you see this video, you know who I'm talking to. Tell them folks this ain't no cap. I looked you right in your eye and I told you, you know what? I'm not tripping. I ain't gotta work at that bitch. I'ma buy this bitch when I get older. And I did just that. So that's why I bought the car wash, just to, you know what I'm saying, go back on the promise that I made. I like to keep my promises. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got them buildings for the wrong reasons. My heart wasn't in the right place. My mind wasn't in that shit. I did that shit for the look. and the business didn't succeed. Again, to go right back, this will be the third time where I said it, right? When you doing business, your heart gotta be in that shit. You wanna be a rapper, you gotta put your heart in that shit. You wanna be an actor, you gotta put your heart in that shit. You wanna be a boss, an executive, a CEO, a soldier, a leader, a wolf, whatever you do, put your heart in that shit so that shit can win. This was the restaurant. Man, this motherfucker got raided once a week for life. The police raided this bitch once a week. So it got to the point where one of them told me, it's either I close my businesses down or I go to prison. And I chose prison. Even though I landed myself in that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put that on them and say they was doing some foul shit or fucking with me for no reason. I brought every problem that I ever had, I brought that shit on my own. And it took me to go to prison to be able to man up and say, you know what? Them folks wasn't fucking with me. I gave them folks a reason to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was left with that ultimatum once upon a time. It's either close the restaurant or go to jail. That man said, somehow we gonna lock your ass up. They sure enough got me. And they actually caught me the right way. I was in the wrong. You heard? But it's all gangster, you know what I'm saying? Cause now we out, nigga. We got triple, double the same chicken. So when I went to prison the first time and I came home, that's when I jumped into Clarity. I dropped Clarity 2 the same day I got out type shit. And I went on that Clarity run and all that shit and did all that turning up. And then, you know, nigga was still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You obviously, you know, that shit don't never end well, trying to live two different lives. And that's what I was doing, you know, after Clarity 2 and fucking options and all that shit and all that came out. And I dropped Moonwalking right after I got indicted. You know what I'm saying? I went to jail after Moonwalking run and got back out, which was recently, and jumped in the whole rich off pints up the skull and sit down and met all that bag, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, for sure the second time. That's one part of my life I don't regret. And if I had the opportunity to change it, I wouldn't change it. That was the best shit that could have ever happened for my hustle was going to federal prison. I learned a lot and it taught me a lot and I made a lot of myself from that experience. So like even like when I got out of jail, right? Even after like all that clarity sound, like to the money phone sound, to the options, then switch it up to like the moonwalking sound. I feel like that was me trying to chase the sound that was turned at the time. And the song did good, but I just didn't feel comfortable with that. You know what I mean? And when I got out, I wanted to like switch it up and turn this shit up a little differently, like with a Detroit sound, but just more grittier beats, just more gangster beats, like them basement sounding beats. Cause wasn't nobody rapping on that shit like Detroit had started rapping on them faster beats, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to slow that shit up, but still be Detroit with that shit. And I had Carl Kane. I'm like, bro, let's drop some of that one bag. And that's when we did like the sit down with Ray. I dropped Meg the Stallion, then like Mud Baby and all them rich off pints, 1, 2, and 3 beats and shit. And even up the score and all that shit, right? And to see so many niggas like using that sound and actually winning and turning up off that shit mean a lot to me because it just let me know that I tried something and I rebirthed something that actually worked. You know what I'm saying? That niggas can get money off for, and I'm still able to get my money off for. Like, there's enough money for everybody to get and take advantage of this sound. That shit it just mean a lot to me. Well, as far as like the money phone, bro, you know me and Super Ray really got into it over that video. I was mad as shit, bro. Like I was ready to fuck Super Ray up. And that was my bro. That's my nigga. Like that's my baby. I told the nigga I did not want to drop that video because I had stopped liking the song. He like, listen, bro, I'm gonna make a deal with you, bro. Trust me, nigga, I know music. Drop this video. If you let me put this video out, you never gotta pay me for a video ever again as long as we know each other for the rest of our life. You never gotta pay for a video. And he stood on that promise. So I let him drop the video and the bitch blew up. And um, but again, I wasn't a fan of the video. I just felt like it was rushed. It just didn't show much. In my mind, I'm like, bro, I didn't even show no money. And I ain't like the song because I said my Rolex was only $10,000. I hated that part. I still hate that part. that my new rollie worth 10K. That's why I did not want to put the song out. But the shit had got so turned that it was too late. It wasn't no changing it. But in my mind, I'm like, we can change the video and do a more creative video with a real treatment and make that shit look good. But we did it, and it just wasn't hitting like the original one. And that's when I learned that if something ain't broke, don't fix it. As far as music go, you know what I'm saying? This the vacant crib I used to live in that I always be talking about and telling niggas I used to live in an abandoned home with no lights, no water, no gas, or nothing, not a dollar in my pocket. Nigga really lived that shit. I literally been homeless. I was homeless, then I came to the vacant joint, you know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to see this bitch so a nigga won't think I'm capping. You know what I'm saying? It's just real motivation. You know what I'm saying? I made it up out that bitch, got my grind right. Cuz mom used to feed me every single day. Wallahi, no cap, bro. One thing about it, I never was hungry when I was living in this bitch. Every day, his mom brought me some food, bro. A home cooked meal. Cuz used to take me to see my PO all the time. Anywhere I need to go, he helped me shoot my moves and all that shit, like real nigga shit, bro. Nigga really went through that shit, and I did that shit for down there. It was for sure over about 7 months. Non-stop, nigga. Struggling, nigga. Went from that straight to a and got turned and made 100,000 in a matter of 6 months. When I left this crib, I made $100,000 6 months after I left this crib, and I ain't never been broke a day in my life since then. I was 19 years old, nigga, at the time. Big fact. 18 going on 19. Between 18 and 19, I was homeless, then I was up. You know what I'm saying? Real hustle, real nigga shit. I just don't want y'all to think I'm ever tell y'all the story. I want to show, I don't do this type of shit, but it's for my brother Joe McFashion. I don't brag. I don't speak on too much shit because it ain't about that. I just want to motivate y'all and let y'all know we all can do this shit. I ain't got no uncles with no money. I ain't got none of that. I ain't got no big cousins that got no paper. I ain't got no family. Like, it ain't none of that with us. You know what I'm saying? I did this shit. First of my kind, first of my generation. And my family always stuck together. My big brother Rick did everything he can for me. You know what I'm saying? My brother Therese, he always was there for me, all my brothers. I could have got anything I wanted from them. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to put no burden on them. You heard? But yeah, I ain't had none of that. I ain't had no big homies, no OGs, none of that shit. I didn't have none of that. I got this shit out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just seen where I grew up at. It wasn't no leeway. Dropped out of school, all that shit, and I still did this shit. And I got all legal paper, everything, real legal money, everything. I did all this shit the right way. I fucked up, I did it the wrong way. I bounced back and I did it the right way. You heard? It's about longevity. It was tough, straight up. No cap, cuz. Cuz witness that shit though. I just wanted to bring a witness for y'all to see this shit.
Real shit.
Let y'all know Vezzo ain't gonna never lie to y'all. I'm never gonna cap to y'all. Cuz seen what I've been through. He seen me live that shit. And he watched me turn up and run it up.
You feel me? Cause that's my nigga, you feel me? I wouldn't have never let Cuz down.
Straight up.
With or without money.
Cuz came through for me. Real nigga, bro. I'm talking about every time. Anything I ever asked Cuz to do for me, he did that shit. No cap. Real nigga shit though, I do want to get one thing straight. I did not have to live the way I was living. My mama always took care of me. My mama always made sure I had absolutely everything I wanted. But I was at that age, I was an adult. I see being 18 as a man. My mama moved back to Minnesota. I stayed here. She asked me to come, I could have went with her. My mama would have did anything I asked for. I always had everything I wanted as a kid. I didn't even know we was fucked up because the way my mama handled her shit, her and my dad, they always stood on business. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to make it seem like, I just didn't have nobody. I had a lot of people. I had my brothers, I had my sisters, I had my mama, and I had my dad. But I didn't reach out to them. I did that, you know what I'm saying? None of them knew that I was living the way I was living because I was in the trenches, I was in the streets. I jumped off the porch on my own, you know what I'm saying? I didn't put that on them. So I went through what I went through. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like they would have been able to just bless a nigga and turn the nigga up, but I'm saying I didn't have to go without food. I didn't have to go without shelter over my motherfucking head. I did not have to go without clothes. My mama always stood on business. You heard? That's my baby. Her and my old dude and my brothers. But I wanted to live like that, you heard? I wanted more for myself. I wanted to get dog shit rich. And the type of money that I wanted, nobody was around me that could have provided that type of opportunity for me. So I went out and grabbed that shit on my own, nigga. Long live Gigi. She used to feed me every day. Made sure her baby ate. You know what I'm saying? I love her so much with all my heart. This is my baby right here. She came and brought me a home cooked meal all the time. You know what I'm saying? She ain't never let me go hungry or none of that. That's why I love her, and she gonna always be in my heart. She a part of my story. You know what I mean? That was the worst time of my life, and she came through for me in the clutch, and I love you so much.
I love you
Thank
too.
you so much. I want them folks to know I wasn't capping. To be honest with you, bro, I ain't never had that mentality to where it's like just fuck everything. I be I be I believe in myself. And even when shit don't work out, I be cool with it because I learned from whatever didn't work out. I know what not to do the next time. I ain't never been a nigga that complained or pointed the finger at other people when shit don't work out for myself. I be cool with whatever the outcome is. I appreciate everything that I got. I'm a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Whatever work. Whatever don't work, it don't work. But I ain't never been in no position and I could have felt like that, but I just didn't. Ain't nothing ever made me feel like fuck this shit. If I ever felt like fuck this shit, it's because I wanted to feel like that, but I just didn't want to feel that way. Nobody never made me put myself down to the point where I'm ready to quit anything. You know what I mean? And the shit not easy, the shit hard. This shit take a lot of money. It take a lot of patience. You know what I'm saying? They gotta be like mad consistent with this shit. Only thing I don't like is like having the friendly part, having to be like super duper friendly and tap in with so many people and be so close with so many different guys. Like I just wasn't with that part. So I always try to skip over that part of shit and just do shit my way and if the shit take time, it take time. Whatever worked for me, it worked. Whatever don't work, it don't work. But I pick it up, I keep moving, I learn from my mistake. But I don't complain about nothing. As far as like the drink guy name, a lot of people think I was calling myself the drink guy because I drunk a lot of lean, and that ain't what the name come from. It came because at one point in my life I was selling a whole lot of this shit, like a whole lot of it, like a lot of it, and that's why I was calling myself the drink guy, not because I drunk lean. And I don't suggest anybody drink lean. That shit is extremely bad for you. It's not cool. It ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we fucked up by making it something that's lit in pop culture. You know what I'm saying? When in reality that shit is a drug. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't nothing good about it. You heard? But yeah, I don't call myself the drink guy because I drink lean. It was because I used to sell a lot of lean. All my collabs, them motherfuckers just be happening. Like it don't be no situation where it be forced or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I would I suggest motherfuckers like pay for features. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't paid for no features like for real. But I think features is good. I think that shit cool. I collab with niggas that I fuck with like on a regular, like niggas that I got a genuine relationship with. Like I got songs with Pluto because we was really rocking at the time. I got a song with Smirk because I really rock with Smirk. I fuck with Yak. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I got songs with, I genuinely rock with them. I don't think there's nothing wrong with collabing, but I don't think you should base your entire career around collaborations because you got to be able to stand alone on your own too. You know what I mean? You got to be able to have a wave outside of other niggas. You don't never want to put yourself in a position where you got to completely rely on other niggas and other artists because niggas change up. I watch this shit all the time. I don't watch niggas switch up. Niggas switch up all the time. So I'm not ever gonna be in a position where I need anybody for nothing. So if I work with a nigga, I genuinely rock with him. I fuck with him. Even the baby, I genuinely fuck with him. I genuinely respect Holmes. And that's how we got that record as well. A lot of artists knew me before they knew I was IceWear Vezzo back in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas knew me already. A lot of them niggas already been knew me. Niggas been knew what was up, like and who I was and what I did, type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was most so about like a respect level with me and the artists that I work with. So like as far as me like signing with record labels and shit, I do that shit to obviously for a multitude of reasons. First and foremost, to try it out and see if the shit work. But another reason I do it is to get more insight. I would never be able to learn how to navigate this shit as a CEO, as a record label. I think the best way to obtain information is through experience. So if I got an opportunity to be around certain CEOs and execs and not only be around them, actually physically do business with them, then I'm able to learn way more shit that I would learn from just from afar, from sitting back or getting some information through passing with a motherfucker. Like, so I went out and physically tried shit. I'm a risk taker. I take risks, and again, if it work, it work. If it don't, it don't work. But I'm glad that I went out and I had two major deals my entire career. One with Motown, one with QC. I'm back independent. Obviously, neither one of them worked out, but I still got a lot up out of that shit, like a whole lot. Not only did I get a check, I got more insight. I built a lot of relationships, got a lot of understanding, and I ended ways with both labels on a good note, with respect. You know what I'm saying? With all love, with just on a positive, solid message. You know what I'm saying? I ain't burn no bridges. I ain't burn no relationships. We ain't trash each other. I ain't trash nobody. You know what I mean? I parted my way like a gangster, like a boss, and I did it the right way, and they respect me for the way I went about it, and I respect them, and I learned shit, and I got these relationships that once I got a relationship, I got that relationship forever. You know what I mean? So that's why I went and did that shit. But my obviously I own a record label, and that's my end goal is to turn other niggas up and turn Detroit out. I want to be the next Barry Gordy out this motherfucker. And it was only one way to get that experience was to go and try that shit on my own. But I'm not suggesting that everybody go do that. I just was willing to do that. I'm a risk taker. I put myself on the line for the people that might come after me and the people that I might work with and do business with. Get and all in the midst of that got a check both times. We got the famous Zorbas, you know what I'm saying? This the landmark for 6 Mile. A lot of shit done went down in this motherfucker. A lot of shit got started, and a lot of shit got squashed in this motherfucker. A lot of niggas had their first fights in this motherfucker, you heard? That's back when the bitch was rowdy, but my baby Donna owned it. She always showed our community love. Donna did so much for this hood, like a lot of shit. Donna is an Albanian queen, you know what I'm saying? She been showing us love since we was shorty. She showed everybody love. She done hired everybody, helped everybody out. And what we give her in return is we respect her business. We keep her shit clean, you know what I'm saying? We leave the bullshit at home and all of that. Everybody come here and it's all respect because we love Donna. Let me show y'all something. Check me out. Donna also is my godmother. If y'all don't know, that's Donna right there. And she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Look at her. It's beauty. Yeah, me, Peas, and GT, we shot that dangling video up here. That's when I had first came out of shit, bro. When I tell you we had the whole fucking city at this bitch. I mean, the whole city, east and west. Motherfuckers from the suburbs, we locked this bitch up. We had a bar that day. Every hood was over this motherfucker. West side, east, every hood. And then ever since that day, this bitch really became a landmark. That's why I bring everybody, like all the motherfuckers, politicians, rappers, whoever. I bring everybody up here. Everybody you can think of, I'm stepping in Zorbas. Courtesy of me, you know what I'm saying? Because I be wanting people to experience my hood and how we move and how we think and all that shit, all the above. We brought Robert F. Kennedy Jr. up here. Who else? Everybody, bro. Nigga, me and Kodak shot our video right across the street at the park. That's the same park that I do all the events every summer for the kids that I was telling y'all about. You know what I'm saying? But this bitch really a landmark, like in real life. You know what I mean? Yeah, nigga learned a lot out this motherfucker, so we giving back. Donna do so much. She done did so much for our community. So that's how I repay her. You know what I mean? I bring some clout to her shit. And it's what it is. And it worked great. Brother, like when it comes to, as far as Team Eastside, me and Ray from the same exact hood, like same part of the hood. But GT, like my little brother, GT always hung with us. Again, like I was a nigga that all my homies was way older than me when I was in high school. And that's the same way GT was. GT ain't hang with niggas his age other than like Ray. You know what I'm saying? So me and GT knew each other since he was like a shorty. I knew Peasy and Snoop just from like in passing. I been knew Lou. Like me and Lou was like in the same crowd. Like we always was in the same type of space type shit. You know what I'm saying? And when they started rapping and doing their thing, like Webo had started back going around them and shit. That's how we pretty much got connected. Like as far as moving as one was through Webo, and me and Lou was thugging. You know what I'm saying? Just moving how we was moving at the time. And shit, the rest is really just history. We added a lot to each other. You know, they helped me out, and they added a lot to what I was doing. I added a lot to what they was doing. We helped each other out. We all help each other out. That's what this shit about. We created a movement, and that shit worked out for everybody. Type shit. Like, listen, platforms play a key role, especially in Detroit music. For Show Magazine, Hip Hop Lab, So Detroit, they the three pioneers for this shit. They helped push us, they helped push this whole sound, me and every other artist over that hump. And we can't deny that, we can't ignore that. They put in a lot of work. That shit go a long way. Cause there's a lot of folks from in and out of town that's following them platforms and that's not following us. And if it wasn't for them platforms, they wouldn't have heard us. They probably would have heard us, but they wouldn't listen. They probably would have seen us, but they wouldn't have watched us. And that's a big difference between seeing and watching. You know what I'm saying? Between hearing and listening, it's a big difference. I think those platforms are extremely important to everything Detroit stand for right now in the music industry and the music business. They did a lot for all of us, especially for me. So yeah, I think we owe a lot of respect and a lot of love to all them platforms, all them people, because them folks took the time out of their lives to help build something. And every nigga that own one of them platforms ain't none of them niggas that care to be rappers. So motherfucker take they money, they time, and all the support that they harnessed up and put that shit into our careers and they making a dollar off us. We not signed to niggas. Niggas ain't managing us or none of that shit, but they putting their time, energy, and money into our careers. You gotta appreciate that shit. You gotta respect that shit. That's why I'm forever got respect for every Detroit platform. Detroit Rap Daily, Detroit Magazine, fucking Detroit Rap News, Forum, all that shit. Like them boys really pushing that line for us. And we all compliment each other so great. It fucked me up and it made me smile to see so many out of town niggas comment on these pages. It just mean a lot, and I appreciate the fact that they growing with us and they grew for us. You know what I'm saying? So that is much respect to all y'all. For Show Magazine. Exclusive. Exclusive. Exclusive.